Alright, good morning again mga kaposh. In today's video, I am going to, since may nag-PM sa akin ay may nag-request na bakit daw ako hindi mag-create ng video or parang tutorial or parang lesson about how to pass an interview in a call center. So yan ang ating pag-uusapan ngayon. But for this particular video, since yung nag-request sa akin is not an experienced one, as in, I think he was a graduate of what's that? K to 12? Alright? Or hindi ko lang alam kung gagraduate siya, graduate na siya ng K to 12 or gagraduate pala siya ng K to 12. And he wants to actually have an experience working in a call center. However, when and where to start. So, this video is actually for you guys. Okay? So, first thing, I'll give you an overview or a background of myself. Baka sabihin nyo, eme-eme lang naman ako dito. Okay? So, I've been working in the BPO industry for 12 years. And like everybody else, I started as an agent prior to me climbing up the ladder. By the way, guys, for this particular video, I will try to make it a point na gawin ko siyang Taglish because this is level 1 tutorial on how to pass an interview in the BPO. But as we progress on the next videos, medyo magiging iibahin natin yung complexity and magiging mahigpit na tayo pagdating sa pag-i-English. Okay, for now, since ito pa lang yung basics, Tagalog muna tayo. Okay? Or Taglish. Now, overview lang about myself. As what I've said, I've been working in the call center business in the last 12 years. I started as an agent. So, sa 12 years na yon, wala akong accounts na ibang na hinawakan, kundi sales, customer service, and collections. I was an agent for half, or not even half. I think naging agent ako for 4 years. And then the remaining years of my career, I am already part of the management team. So matagal po akong naging trainer. Okay? So matagal po ako naging trainer sa call center. And naging sales coach din po ako. And naging recruiter din po ako for a sales campaign or for a sales account. Which means nag-i-interview po talaga ako ng mga applicants. I filter applicants and I do final interviews as well. Okay? So there. In terms of my educational background, I have a background in education. I had majored in English nung nasa college ako. And right now, I'm taking up my AB in Broadcast and Communications sa Polytechnic University of the Philippines. So, dyan po yan sa Santa Mesa. Alright, so, at least para sabihin nyo naman, eme-eme lang naman ako. Sino ba naman ano ba naman ang tinatatalak ko dito? Okay. So, first thing that you need to understand, kahit sa anong industriya pa yan, right? You need to understand or get or have the basics of your industry. So first, what is BPO? Ano ba yung BPO na sinasabi or business process outsourcing? So obviously, on an interview perspective, pag tinanong kayo niyan, hindi naman i-expect sa inyo that you will be able to define what BPO means and you will be able to define it in Google definition or how Google defines it, right? So obviously, as recruiters, in our perspective, enough na sa amin na number 1, at least did you do your homework? Nag-effort ka ba? And number 2, do you have understanding of that particular industry? Importante yan because hindi mo man ma-identify flawlessly what BPO is, at least at that particular point of the conversation or the interview, makikita namin how was your trail of thoughts, that's number 1. And at the same time, papaano yung iyong level of comprehensibility. And number 3, in relation to number 1, your coherence. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng coherence? Kasi isa sa tinitingnan sa call center, pag gusto mo magtrabaho sa call center is, are you spontaneous when you convey your thoughts? Because it is really very important. Itong camera na ginagamit ko, every time na pag sobrang init ng temperature or sobrang lamig, namamatay siya. Nakatapat kasi siya sa aircon. But anyway, saba tayo naputol. So, you need to, number 1, sa interview, although I will create a separate video on how to carry yourself in an interview. Okay? And that's level 1 also. So, lahat ng mga gagawin ko, there will be levels. Alright? So, for this one, ang focus is an overview of what BPO is. Okay? At ano yung dapat yung pag-aralan or paghandaan pagdating sa interview or preparations ninyo when you're creating a resume, or ano yung mga dapat yung maintindihan or maunawaan about the BPO or the so-called call center industry. Okay? Now, moving forward, ano nga ba yung BPO? Right? So, BPO is defined as BPO, or not defined, but the acronym stands for the acronym BPO stands for Business Process Outsourcing. From the word itself, simplihan lang natin to. Alright? So, you have a business. Alright? And basically, what you would want to do is to entrust your business to someone. Alright? It could be a person or it could be a company that has established process. Right? And you entrust them your business, have them establish their own process, and there, you just have to wait for the result. So, ganun kasimple. So, pwede ko siyang ilahal tulad sa, for example, I own an apartment. Okay? Meron akong apartment, meron siyang 10 pintuan yung apartment na yon, but the apartment is located in Pasig. Okay? And I live in, let's say, in Cebu. So, obviously, hindi ko mababantayan yung apartment ko. 10 apartment yun. Sino maniningil, sino maglilinis, sino magme-maintain, sino magpapagawa, and the like, and so on and so forth. Right? So, dahil ako, hindi ko siya matutukan, ang gagawin ko is, mag-outsource ako. So, mag-outsource ako kay, for example, Aling Nena. So, si Aling Nena, pwedeng meron siyang mga karpentero, pwedeng meron siyang mga tagalinis, or pwedeng meron siya na rin mismo yung admin. Alright? So, in other words, hindi ko na kailangan pumunta dun sa negosyo ko or dun sa mga apartments ko at maningil every month from Cebu going to Manila kasi I'm already outsourcing my business to them, to Aling Nena. So, parang ganun siya, no? And Aling Nena has this established process already. So, meron na siyang proseso na in place. Ang gagawin ko na lang as a business owner is to wait for the result. Okay? So, ganun lang siya kasimple. Obviously, again, you don't need to define it that way, but at least it's gonna pay you well if you have an understanding. Okay? Now, second thing that you need to understand about business process outsourcing is very, very common here is the call center industry. So, ito naman yung pag-uusapan natin, no? But not all the time, BPO or the business process outsourcing pertains to a call center. Yan yung mismong kadalasang incorrect notions around the BPO eh. It could be in a manufacturing section, it could be in many forms also. Alright? But now, since the focus is for the call center business, dun lang tayo magko-concentrate, right? So now, let's define what call center is. I don't think I have to define it because it's self-explanatory. Okay? So, this is a way where you get to deal with your customers. It could be over the phone, alright? Or it could be virtually. What do I mean by virtually? Online, alright? Or, pwede rin namang via chat support. Do you understand that? So, let's discuss what are the subsections that you will encounter in the BPO, specifically in the call center. So, I would just categorize it into 3. So, the first one is what I call the voice. It's the voice star. No, the voice, meaning you will be dealing with your customers over the phone. Right? Okay? And under the voice, there are two kinds. That's a very, very popular, and you have to understand, tinuturo pa nga ito sa iba minsan sa mga call center trainings, what are the subsections of the Tapos sabihin, ano ba yung outbound? Ano ba yung difference ng inbound? So, yun nasabi ko na. So, the first one is the outbound. Obviously, it's very, very self-explanatory. You make the attempt to connect to the customer. Okay? So, why do we do this? It could be because gusto natin magbenta, gusto nating mag-set up ng appointment, gusto nating mag-follow up ng status ng order, it could be gusto nating mangolekta ng utang, alright? Ano pa ba? And many forms, or many more. The next one is inbound, wherein kayo naman yung tinatawagan. So, pag kayo yung tinatawagan, it could be also pwedeng bibila sila sa inyo, or pwedeng customer service, dahil may concern sila sa kanilang mga bills, alright? Or meron silang technical support assistance na kailangan sa inyo. For example, hindi gumagana yung internet. For example, yung telephone ko, yung mobile phone ko hindi makapag-send. Parang walang signal. Alright? Or hindi ko alam i-operate yung phone ko. These are the technical assistance you can get. And most of the time, these are inbound. Okay? What else? The last one is the back of house. So, ito naging popular na tong back of house na to, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 10 years ago. Where hindi na tayo tumatawag, hindi na tayo tinatawagan. Alright? But more of, we do support virtually or offline. And it's actually combinations of offline and online because part of it is, I would say, meron din tayong tinatawag na chat support or email support. There are cases right now sa back of house where most of the time it has to do with logistics, right? Nagpa-process lang sila ng order, or it could be sumasagot sila ng emails or the appointments or queries ng customer. I would say it's not that popular in the Philippines kasi nandun pa rin yung concentration ng BPO industry for call center sa voice pa din. Okay? So there. Now at least meron na tayong understanding ano ba ang BPO, ano bang meron sa call center, ano ba yung inbound, ano ba yung outbound. Yan lang din kayo ng at least a little overview kung ano ba yung mga klase ng mga accounts or responsibilities na pwede niyong makuha when you work in the call center. So, kadalasan meron dyan yung technical support. Explain ka rin kanina. Technical support, pag hindi gumagana yung internet, yung telephone, hindi niya mapagana, hindi niya alam kung paano i-operate, anything that has to do with the technical aspects of the technology that we're using at the moment, technical support. Okay? So, siguro in the next videos, if you want me to deep dive on all those, what are the requirements, ano ba yung mga competencies, ano ba yung mga specific skill set required, PM me and I will create the video for those. Okay? Next is customer service. So from the word itself, right? You provide service to the customer by means of or by way of, say, answering queries about their bill. Alright? Or it could be in a form of ano ba nangyayari sa account, kailan ba yung appointment, nagpa-follow up ng order and the likes. Okay? What else? It could also be so meron ka ng technical support, meron ka ng customer service, meron ka ng sinasabing back of house. Ito yung sinasabi natin na logistics. Minsan, all you just have to do is to process the order. So, hindi ka nakikipag-usap, nakaharap ka lang sa system mo, may ginagawa ka lang doon. What else? It could be an email support. You could be an email support where you answer email from your customers or for your clients. Okay? It can be a live chat support. So yung mga nakikita nyo ngayon sa wanna talk to us, chat with us. Yung mga banking institutions right now are into it because the feedback is immediate. So they want to maximize the platform of social media and the W to ensure that they get to reach out to their customers, right? So most of the time, in some cases rather, hindi naman lahat ng tao may load, but they have the internet, right? So if I am to communicate with the company I work for, and it's a lot faster that way because I have an access to the World Wide Web anyway, right? What else? Aside from live chat support, you could also do collections, right? So ito yung mga nangongolekta or tumatawag sa inyo to collect your utang. Okay? Ano pa ba? It could be an appointment setter. Like tatawag sa'yo, magpapa-book ng appointment or i-confirm yung appointment. For example, appointment ng pagkabit ng internet mo or appointment kung kailan pupunta yung magkakabit ng kontador ng kuryente and all that. Alright? And lastly, ito, for some strange reason, since ito yung industriya ang kinalakihan ko, ang daming takot. Alright? Yung sales. Kasi whenever I do interview, ito sobrang nakakatawa, whenever I do interview about sales post, they're always nervous about the target and the quota. Hindi mo I will, if you wish or if you want, I can create another video on that. Separate na lang natin yan sa ibang video. Best practices on how to be a good sales agent. Okay? Now, so yun yung mga responsibilities and roles na pwede nyong ma-encounter sa BPO or sa call center in particular. Now, ano ba yung mga companies na usually nag-outsource sa BPO, specifically in the call center? So, madalas ngayon ang mga kliyente natin sa BPO sa call centers are, number 1, telecommunications company. Right? So, like Globe, PLDT, or other telcos and other providers. Number 2, it could be utility companies. Ano ba yung mga yan? Yung mga basic na pangangailangan natin, like kuryente, meron na rin na nag-outsource sa Pilipinas. Insurance is also one. Okay? What else? It could also be financial institutions or banks. And banks that are very keen and very particular of the privacy and security of their customers. So what else? It could also be food and beverages. Right? So, nagko-call center, nag-outsource na din yung mga yan. Like Jollibee and Chowking. Before, kung gusto mong mag-order, kailangan mong mag-drive-thru or kailangan mong mag-tricycle papunta doon. But right now, meron na rin silang delivery, meron na silang call center, and meron na rin tayong Food Panda, and meron na rin tayong Grab Food. Right? So, ang dami-dami ng new technologies right now at part of the innovations to make it easier for everyone is ang laki ng role ng call center, no? Kung mapapansin nyo, hindi lang locally but also in the international arena. Okay? So there, na-identify na natin ano-ano yung mga companies. At least I gave you a few, but there's more to that. I'm telling you. Alright, it could also be healthcare. Alright? May mga healthcares and many more.